What's up, y'all? All right. So yesterday pushed me to the absolute limit. Drader definitely took it to me yesterday. Somehow my legs feel better today. I don't know. It's really, at this point, we are in like totally uncharted waters. So it's anybody's guess as to how I'm gonna feel, and then how that's gonna correlate to my performance. So some exciting new stuff, things that I've been sort of waiting on. Exciting and disappointing for me. You might notice my avatar has got a new kit on right there. That's not me in the rally kit. That's me dead center in the automatic racing kit, which is the team. That's a USA Crits D1 team headed up by Thomas Gibbons, who won the series last year, series overall. I'm pretty sure he won the series overall. I know he was in the lead for a while. Regardless, crit racer, American dude. The reason that kit is added is USA Crits is doing a race. Fortunately, unfortunately, the pro race conflict with the end of Vive la France, which I am not going to jump ship this late in the game. But it's cool for a few reasons. One is that I think USA Crits, which is our national crit series in America, is angling to have their races put on. Okay, yeah, Zach Rader. Rader, you need to get in this race. Or Rader, jump in tomorrow. We got a sprint stage. USA Crits, I believe, is angling to do some more events on RGT. So this first one that's happening. So they've got amateur races. If you guys want to race a USA Crits race and you're not already stuck into this, they're doing amateur races that are category graded this weekend that you could just jump into. I think they're working on doing some custom courses that will be modeled after real USA Crits courses. The ones this weekend are on Canary Wharf, which I'm bummed I'm going to miss them because I love racing Canary Wharf. One of my most fun E-races of all time was that course. So good news, bad news. I'm going to miss this first one. Good news is I hope that means they're going to keep doing this, keep putting on USA Crits races on RGT, and that I have sort of hopefully finessed a guest riding spot on a D1 team so I can jump into the pro races, which I'm hoping some big names will show up to. I see that they did put, like, Automatic is in here. A lot of the USA Crits D1 teams' jerseys went up, so I'm hoping that means a lot of them have riders committed. I know one in particular. I don't want to blow up my own spot by saying who I've been talking to, but I know some people who race for a D1 USA Crits team, and I just told them I've been racing on RGT a lot. I have decent numbers. If you guys want or need a guest rider, because I figure not every pro crit rider is like fully set up with an indoor cycling racing setup. So the other tie-in I've got is Thomas Gibbons, who runs Automatic Racing, is now on a host of the Yeah You Ride podcast, which my friend Michael Bodenheimer from New Orleans and a couple of his New Orleans buddies. Good cycling podcast. And they also they've been doing race breakdowns with Thomas's footage over on YouTube. Raider says I'll definitely be able to help them out. Okay, that's another thing. I've got my chat. I popped out my chat window and I have it in front of me so I don't have to look over here to look at chat. So if you chat to me today, hopefully I'll see it a little bit quicker. But yeah, if you go look at the calendar on RGT, those amateur races are up right now. So this one starts down a pretty big hill. Then we've got what looks to be a fairly significant hill on the back end. Well, we've got a little gradual sort of hill in the middle, and then a big one at the end. About 600 meters of total climbing. Not comparatively, not a lot of climbing, but definitely also not enough. And I'm seeing some names in here that I have not seen before. So I'm wondering if we've got some fresh guys who are here to maybe poach the stage. Oh, someone else has discovered the automatic jersey. I wonder who that is. I guess I could turn on the and we're going up. I didn't think we were climbing this soon, but I was wrong. So you guys send me something in chat today. Should see it fairly quickly. So this guy, A. Desroisier, is new or new to this time slot. I have no idea, Raider, who has the IRL KOM for today's finishing climb. I have no clue. So I don't actually want to thin it out that much this early. But if I'm the one setting pace, I'm not getting dropped. Oh, Phil Guyman, does he have it? Raider said Cookie Man, which I assume means Phil Guyman. So, related, my favorite Phil Guyman story from his first book. He's doing a training camp with Jeremy Powers. What's up, Garza? He's doing a training camp with Jeremy Powers, who cyclocross star, but most of you guys would know him from the GC and YouTube channel now. But Guyman is doing a camp with Powers. They're both getting ready for big events. And Powers is actually trying to put on weight and put on watts. So scale both up because he thinks the National Cyclocross Championship is going to be a pretty tough slog that year. Like it's going to be pretty sticky, muddy, slow going. So at some point, Guyman offers him a cookie, and Powers turns it down. Garza is like, Garza, I'm looking at your name, Garza. And Guyman, Will Guyman is like, what the hell, man? I thought you were trying to gain weight. And Powers' response is, I think this is verbatim, something to this effect. He said, I'm trying to win a national championship. I need to build muscle. Muscles are not made out of cookies, Bill. And I think about that often when I'm, honestly, especially through the course of this event, who some people just got found out, I think, that could have really tripped you up if you weren't ready for that to go back down. So it is definitely, I mean, this is true in real life as well, but especially on RGT, especially when you're as light as I am, you have to be right on the wheel, or else a group that is together on a downhill will drop you. And if any of you guys have seen me like taking turns with other people while we were descending, I basically heavier dudes. I mean, it's like roulette. Like a heavier guy goes faster. So me being a lighter guy in the draft, I'm fine. But if I pop out of the draft, out the back of the draft, I'm like a twig in the wind. I'm just done. So I got to really pay attention here. There was someone, one of the stages early on that I did commentary with ZMF, one of the dirt guys, I want to say it was Mike Lister, one of the Dads Inside Riding Trainers guys, put on just like a master class of descending on RGT, where he was in a group with some of the favorites, strongest guys on here, Deca, Paraday, the guys who were putting down the fastest times on every stage. And he managed, just by really paying attention to where he was in the group and what was coming up, he spent like most of the descent at like 0 to 2 watts a kilo while they were doing 4 or 5. And he didn't get dropped. He hung on. He was just in there, which is inspirational. You do have to be like super paying attention. There's always that little bit of input lag too, where it's going from like, it probably takes like a second or two to get from your power meter to the computer to your avatar. So you got to think about where you are in the group, plus that delay, plus what is coming up on the course. Really thinking about where you are in the group is such a big one, though. Like, for a second there, I was kind of caught on the outside, and I did need to start pedaling just because I wasn't right in the draft. And it's easy. It looks like it just happened to Doherty, and he had to do a big effort to get back on. When you hit that wind, it will slow you down very quickly. So Raider, let's get you and Murphy in here tomorrow, and let's just like rip the stage. We got a flat one tomorrow, and they released an update for RGT that should, I mean, so far so good, help with the stability of the app and everything. So I don't know. Zach Raider, get in here. Let's go. Murphy got a win on 2 days ago. 16? I don't even remember. Can't remember. Billy, I've noticed a few things. One of them, like the names we just wrote over, they're all populating correctly. It's all small stuff. And the Magic Road, like when I go to log in, Magic Road's loading a lot faster. I think it is mostly stability fixes, which I think it was stage 14. Maybe you asked, somebody asked if I thought RGT would have a big update. And I said, oh yeah, they'll probably release a big one after this race is over. They're probably like, you know, compiling user data. And they beat me to it for sure. They got right on it, and it seems, I mean, small sample size, but okay. Well, Raider, we also have Champs-Élysées stage this weekend, which I think is going to be Champs-Élysées in the woods. But you are super familiar with that course from racing it over on Zwift, so love to have you. I'll say I haven't seen people posting about dropouts and all that as much since the newest update, which again, it's been like 36 hours, so small sample size. Winter says her avatar froze. Did your power drop out, or did did it give you an error message or anything? I'll say I had to drop out. Oh, that's why. Winter, go update your apps. They released them yesterday. It says her avatar froze, but she also hasn't updated the app. So hopefully, new version should fix that. I had a dropout on stage 2 where I was rolling along. I was actually on the start, and my power cut out, and I was descending, but I just couldn't get it to pick up my power meter. It's because I was getting my power off of Amp Plus, and ooh, little grade here. I should crank up my feedback intensity so I don't get caught out by those. But I had my Amp Plus dongle plugged in right above my graphics card, which, if you know anything about PCs, and especially gaming / streaming. Yeah, Katagen, the update is, there's an update for the screen and an update for the mobile. So make sure you do both. It is an all-encompassing update. But yeah, if you know anything about PCs, the graphics card, when you're streaming or gaming, or both, especially both, gets very hot. And it was basically cooking my Amp Plus dongle. And I, another little snap here. Got to make sure I'm on when it goes back downhill. So that's what it was. I moved my Amp Plus dongle from right on top of the graphics card to the other side of the computer, and it's been fine. But that was what caused me to do the midnight stage, which was less than ideal, suboptimal way to start a Grand Tour worth of racing. So, recap where I'm at. Oh, Katagen, my heart rate monitor is just dead. I keep wearing it, hoping maybe it'll pair, but it wouldn't pair 2 days ago. I think the battery's out. If you're noticing my heart rate, as Katagen is there, I guess 2 days ago, it just disappeared. And I'm 90% sure it's the battery, 10% chance my super corrosive Viva La France sweat got in there and messed it up. I had a battery ready to go in my workbench drawer. Right battery, everything. Thought I was prepared for this scenario. Didn't realize you need a tiny screwdriver to open the Garmin HRM to get the back off. And I have a tiny screwdriver, but not tiny enough. So, got on Amazon today and ordered an even tinier screwdriver, which should be here Saturday. So, hopefully, I will have heart rate again by the Champs-Elysees. But those of you who have been watching me know that probably my heart rate would be 160 for this whole stage. Man, Drader, killing it right now. If you guys didn't see the battle Drader and I had yesterday on the Col du Glandon, that is worth a watch, I would say. He pushed me right to my limits. And I believe he did a power PB, a 1 hour power PB. It rated him as over 1 IF. Yeah, Drader in the chat said it was epic. You know, Winter, that's a good question. I am not sure if an Apple Watch will pair to RGT, and I'm not sure about that because I don't have an Apple Watch, but that would be good to know. I would think it would, because it pairs to other things. I don't know. Yeah. Well, regardless, my watch is analog. Blair says he doesn't think that the Apple Watch will pair as a heart rate monitor. I'm not sure. I'm also, maybe I just have really corrosive sweat. I have broken, this is my second heart rate monitor already, so I don't know. Yeah, Katogen, I did hear about the huge investment into Zwift. Honestly, not sure if that's good or bad. I mean, it really depends what they do with it, but we'll just have to see. My worry is the people who made that investment want to see it become Peloton, which Peloton is very lucrative because it's very expensive and they sell hardware. And they're getting revenue off the extremely expensive hardware and recurring revenue from the subscription. So I hope that Zwift doesn't fully go that way. We will see. But the other direction is that could give them the money to do all kinds of awesome stuff. They could add courses, make a much more robust racing group riding UI. I mean, think of anything you would want to see on Zwift. Could probably do it with 450 million. That's how much it is, right? $500 million. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I don't know. I am excited to do some racing with the Sturzo after VLF is over. Raider can validate my efforts here. Also, talking at 450 watts is a learned skill. The farther you go back, the less I talk. So it's been a process of learning how to do that. Trader, I know you're probably listening. We should try and keep it steady, keep this group together for our GC times. So, you know, not easy up this climb, but I think if we drop many more people than this, that would be bad. Cadell Howie asked if I like RGT or Zwift more. You know, I always say I'm platform agnostic, which basically means wherever there's good events, good community, good competition, fun courses, that's where I'm going. So I'm like 50-50. I mean, Swift definitely has the history and the critical mass and the courses. They have a lot of real road courses. I love the new France map, but the dynamics of the racing, like how the racing works and plays out, I like a lot better on RGT. But I sort of see it as like, I don't know, nobody buys a PS5 or whatever we're on now and just plays Red Dead. Like, I'm going to want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I do have a lot of fun free riding on Switch, especially chasing badges, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's like, I would say it's 60-40 at any given moment. And right now, it's kind of 60 on the RGT side. I feel like RGT's got some great momentum. This event is awesome. The USA Crit thing is exciting to me. The Project Echelon thing, which, if you haven't checked that out, links down below to the Project Echelon series. They put on some really, really high caliber racing on Zwift over the summer, over the summer, based on some real life American races. But I think Zwift, there's this thing where if something is good and it comes from the community, Zwift wants to own it. And I mean, they bought Zwift Power. It's just frustrating to see, like, so I think that's kind of what this Zwift Race League that you're seeing now, I think it's a response kind of to how good the Project Echelon stuff on Zwift was. Zwift said kind of like, we want to own it. And I know they were making it hard for those guys to promote more races over there, which just seems short-sighted. Like, if you have a very enthusiastic community that wants to do stuff at a really high level, great production value for you, it just seems, I know they want to like control the product, but it just seems like a bad idea to tamp that down. And RGT is like, from the ground up, kind of the opposite of that, in a sense that, I mean, from the jump, I could set up a race on here tomorrow if I want to. And if I promote it and get 20 people signed up, it's going onto their app immediately. Like, that is true community. And I can set it up however I want. It could be a time trial. I can tell people what categories to be. Like, it's a really good way to crowdsource the enthusiasm, I think. And I could even make it whatever course I want to. All right, looks like we got another big hill. Billy asked if I would lock myself into one platform if I got a deal too good to refuse. I'm going to say I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I've gotten 0 deals thus far, so I don't even know what that deal would look like. And Lewis seems kind of reticent. Drader, same plan here. I think we try to roll 5 deep to the final climb, and then we can all just go bananas. That said, we don't go easy to keep it together, but just someone drops, they drop. But I think going ballistic this early in a race with the GC would not be advisable. So I'm going to keep it steady here, do my work. Yeah, so it seems like they're kind of moving away from the esports thing. That's the other thing I worry about, is that they're going to try to become Peloton, basically. And Peloton is for people who are not cyclists. Zwift is for cyclists. And I understand some people come into Zwift and become cyclists through it, but no one is coming into Peloton and then going out and buying a real bike and doing real group rides. Like, that's got to be such a low percentage. Oh, also, throw this in there. I've had a lot of people through the course of this race tell me they've gotten into e-racing or gotten on RGT. I believe Winter, who's in the chat right now, is one of them, from watching my races, enjoying it, and deciding to jump on here. So that's awesome. Love to hear that. I always like to, when I'm enjoying something, I want other people to enjoy it with me. So that's kind of one of my like core tenets of my worldview, I think. So it's been really cool to see how many people, in fact, one of those people beat me on one of the big mountain days. Someone who came in fresh, said he had decided to give e-racing a go after watching my channel, got set up with RGT. Yeah, Winter says she did, and she's done a few rides on RGT. That's cool. Glad to hear it. I'm thinking that after this event, and once the sort of traditional trainer season really picks up again, we may see some bigger numbers in terms of races and group rides on RGT. I'm already seeing it. Like, there's a brand new time trial series going on RGT. There's the Ravy Friday Night Fights, the USA Crit stuff. The I believe that the Australian guys are putting on AEST races. That started up right before Viva La France and then kind of went on pause, I believe. But yeah, and I think like those are all races. Blue Ricks will probably be picking up the Borrego Springs if anybody's looking for like a chill social group ride on RGT. I think we'll see a lot more opportunities for the social riding and racing aspect on here as this winter picks up. Uh-oh. Looks like Drader got a little caught out. You got to get here, Drader. I can't slow up any more than this for you. Man, it is rough when you get caught just off the back on RGT. There he is. I had faith, but doing the pain dangle on a downhill on RGT is one of the most painful ways to dangle. All right, I'm going to throw my music on here. I think we're probably, it says we're a little over halfway, but the big climb comes in the final. So I think it's probably about the halfway mark. Let's talk some Tour de France. Love seeing Sepp Kuss racing so hard. Yeah, Winter, I can't blame you there. I'm kind of, she says she's not racing on RGT because she's committed to Zwift races. That's kind of where I'm at right now, but in reverse. Like, there has been plenty of stuff on Zwift I would like to get stuck into in the past 3 weeks, but obviously unspoken for. But I'm gonna do a little bit of both. Nice. Winter, what are you third in GC on? You're doing better than me. I am. Okay, before we get into the real Tour de France, let's talk my results. I am 6th on the mountain classification, 7th on the general classification, and I was hoping to extend that a little bit yesterday, especially after the Herculean effort of Drader really pushed me. But one of the, so there's only 2 guys that are really 3R women's series. That's awesome, Winter. I haven't done a big series on Zwift yet, but I'm enjoying this. It's fun to have like the day-to-day continuing on and on. Speaking of which, some of the only dudes that some of the only people who are within striking distance of me on mountains classification, James Melville is a big one. I was hoping maybe to get some time from him yesterday, but if you thought me and Drader put in a Herculean effort, Melville did 4.9 watts a kilo. He said it was the deepest he's ever dug in his life, which, like, respect. Like, he earned that, but so he's pulling away from me a little bit. We'll see what I can do on Alpe d'Huez. That's kind of my last chance to move up. Winter says she's third because she's stubborn and willing to do all the races. Raider, he did 4.9 for like a little over an hour, which I think would be possible for me if I wasn't just so blown. Me and Melville have been kind of trading, like, on the mountain stages where you can actually judge one time zone against another a little bit. I think he's beat me on a few. I've beaten him on a few. He's like, going into that stage, he was like 30 points up on me, which is not a ton. Yeah, Raider, that was a kudos to him. Like, amazing effort. And that's a guy I've raced with enough to know he's fully capable of that. Like, I don't question his calibration or anything. He just, well, he's a good bit lighter than you, I think. He's closer to my weight, which my weight has settled back around 61. Justin does try that Zwift confirmed the new UI update has been delayed. Yeah, see, that's what, like, I don't know. There are some elements of that seem pretty easy. Like, okay, well, never mind. I was going to mess with my app and show you guys how customizable the UI is on RGT, but when I reached over, water poured off my back, and I'm not trying to hit a bunch of buttons. Raider, they're trying to just overhaul the entire. I mean, I would hope that it's things like maybe you could swap courses without having to repair your power meter, stuff like that. But also being able to like customize the display like you can in RGT. That's what I was about to show you guys is on RGT, like right now, right behind where my body is, there is an in-game chat, but I'm not really looking at it. And I don't type, I'm looking at you guys chat actually. So I turn the in-game chat off, cleans the UI up. Also, right up here in the middle where it's blank, there's a like Strava segment real-time viewer thing that I have turned off because I don't care about it. But Zwift doesn't give you that option. So that's the kind of thing that we all think were involved in the Zwift UI update, that they had been kind of teasing the possibility of this update for a long time. They just hadn't done it. And then, so they've been teasing it, saying soon, soon, soon. And then yesterday they said, we're not doing it. I will, okay, this is me being a Zwift optimist. This is out of character. I'm going to say maybe they're not writing the UI for this code base that they're on now on Zwift because they're about to rewrite the code, which honestly, there's some annoying things about Zwift that could not be fixed with the UI update. And honestly, it's some of what has driven me to RGT. A big one for me as a racer is the fact that on Zwift, the positioning is done on the, on Zwift, it's done on the client side, meaning that what everyone sees on Zwift can be different. Oh no. Oh, we gotta. Looks like we had 3 or 4 extra Magic Road GPS points there. So I do think these roads were made before the last update. So there may be a, these were actually made before Magic Road 2. So there might be a couple of those. Huh. I like Drader's style there. He saw everything going crazy and just went, you know what? I'm going to attack. Yeah, no, we're fine. So what that was the GPS file that this road was made from had some extra points in there that didn't get pruned out of the road. And you really just have to run it through a GPX smoother to do that. But they basically had one guy making 21 stages worth of roads. So I'll give it to him on that one. It is what it is. But yeah, so Zwift, you can, it's possible for everyone to be seeing different stuff, which makes it impossible to really implement wind or positioning. And sometimes it makes it where it looks like one person wins on their screen, but on the server, someone else is going, which to me for racing, especially at a high level, it's just like, that's not acceptable, not tenable. And then there's also the thing that the fact that positioning is done server side is why in these big events with a lot of people on screen, especially people who are running like iPads and stuff, have problems like freezing, dropping, stuttering, frame rate going down to 4 or 5. That's because it's making your computer draw all those people on screen rather than sending it to you with them already positioned. So that's something that I think like it's really fundamental, and there's not much way around it other than rewriting the source code kind of from the ground up. But if they do that, it could make a lot of things better. So I'm going to say optimist mode. That's what Swift is doing right now with all that money. But we all know about the Zwift timetable. Things happen. Zoon, Z-O-O-N, which means not soon. Looks like this may be, I'm thinking all this stuff we're seeing in the foreground here, that's what we're going to have to climb. Oh, I've also got to say, I couldn't comment on it at the time because Drader had me totally pinned, but the top of that climb yesterday looked really awesome for a magic road. Yeah, Billy says that's why on Zwift, announcers never really know who won. Yeah, because who they saw across the line might not be who got it on the server side, which especially in races where like it almost always comes to a sprint, you need that to be accurate, right? So that's something I think RGT got right, is the actual like engine of the game is very robust for racing. Tactics work. It makes for exciting racing. The drafting feels realistic. Got huge debate about the RGT drafting on the internet today. And basically what it comes down to is people who are used to the quote-unquote sticky draft that everyone hates on Zwift. People always complain about how sticky the draft is. So the draft on RGT is not sticky. For that reason, you can sling past. Oh, Raider says that the positioning thing happened to Zwift. Happened to Corey Williams on Zwift. Looked like he won a race and he didn't. The Legion of LA kit is in RGT now. I'm hoping we're going to see them racing on RGT. And maybe what we'll see is me guest riding for another D1 team racing against them on RGT. That would be super fun. Yeah, Billy, so I'm actually not sure what engine RGT is on, if they wrote their own. I do know Zwift did write their own. And that's part of why, like, when a new graphics card comes out, Zwift will actually look worse on a brand new graphics card until they add that card. It's a whole thing. Awesome, Raider. Raider says he just ordered some Legion of LA merch. Yeah. Hey, hop into this USA Crit stuff. That's you know, fingers crossed that the thing they do this week is not the last thing. I'm thinking, and it seems like this is like some level of insider information and some level of speculation from me. But it seems like they are angling to recreate, like this is a test event, and they're angling to recreate some USA Crit Sports and have them like permanently available or available for a limited time where anyone could go ride them, and then maybe put on some races as well, which I would love to see. I would love to do. But after this is over, I'm going to the beach. I will be off the trainer next week. I might do a couple easy spins at the beach, but I'm going to be trying to absorb this training load, come out the other side faster. So, speaking of that, before we get to this big hill, been talking about doing an Alp run, Alp de Zwift run. Do you guys think I should do that as part of a race, like a herd race? And Raider, you want to pace me up the first like 2 or 3 switchbacks? I want to make a run at a PB on Alp de Zwift. After this, probably a week and a half, something like that. All right. We're on the climb, baby. This is it. I will answer chat at the top. This effort is too deep. But I appreciate seeing the chat. Keep it coming. Thanks, Murphy. Yeah, Murphy, it does. If you look at the thumbnail, that's the real one. Yeah, it is, Murphy. Ah. Oh no. Thought it was about to make me do lap 2 there. Oh. So, back to all the chat that I could not answer. So, we found the limits to where I can talk, and it's right around VO2 max. First off, Raider, no plans to get back to the outside stuff this year. Maybe it's because Sarah is a public health major. Maybe it's because I had asthma as a kid. But I'm just being really COVID cautious. And the other thing is, like, Raider, I trust you. I trust everyone on our team, basically. But I know there are several guys that are going out and doing that ride. Worlds is our Tuesday night, like, Hammerfest ride here in Birmingham. I know there are several guys doing that ride that are just not very cautious. And I don't know. I need something to sink my teeth into to, like, get into and focus on. And there's really just not anything for me outside. So I'm going to do inside stuff. I mean, I'm riding outside, but no group rides, no races until 2021. I'm going to try to, hopefully, January, February, get back into group riding gearing up for some outside events. Winter, I did see the tour today. I assume what you're mad about is Egan Bernal dropping out, which is a bummer. Although I'm pulling for Jumbo Visma. I just think, first of all, they got Sepp Kuss, American, awesome. Wout van Aert, cyclocross world champion, awesome. Good effort, Doherty. And then they've got Primoz Roglic, former ski jumper, just like crazy. I don't know. Anyone in the peloton who has like a weird story, I'm into it. I'm about it. Yeah, that climb with all the hairpins. So if you look at the thumbnail for this, that was a picture of this climb, and I was wondering, like, honestly, if Magic Roads would be able to handle something that crazy. And there were some like anomaly floating bushes and fences here and there, but it was good. That was fun. That was fun to climb. And Murphy said switchbacks, either the switchback is the steepest or the shallowest. So here in Alabama, when we have switchback climbs, the switchback itself is the steepest part. That climb was more like the other way, where the switchback was the shallowest. So I'm sure you guys noticed I was trying to do like over 300 on the steep stuff, and then back down to sweet spot 270, 280, coming around the corners, stand up on anything over 10. That was a good climb for me, though. The fact that it was so segmented and so variable, that helps me a lot. Also, Murphy, comment about the kit. Oh, what's up, Alex Lilius in the chat? Thanks, man. Murphy, the kit. They're uploading all the USA Crits teams on RGT, and USA Crits is putting on a race next week, which I had kind of finessed myself a guest riding spot on a D1 team for the pro race, but they're going to have like ABC races also. So I don't know, check that out, get in there. I'm hoping though, so I'm going to miss the one they're doing. It's either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to the beach after this. I will be out. But, let's go to my numbers. They're just sitting here. So I'm going to miss that one. I'm going to be at the beach. I'm not going to have my trainer. I just need to take a week off after this too. I think if I take a week off after this, I should come out the other end stronger, I hope. But I'm hoping that that's going to lead to more USA Crits events on here, and that the D1 team I was going to guest ride for will still want me. We will see. Nothing too crazy here. IF 8.9 is a lot considering how much of that stage I was chilling. Thanks to Drader for keeping it fast that whole time. Yeah, I'm with Murphy. If he can get the efforts in with low hassle, there's no reason to muck with groups right now. That's basically where I'm at. Like, I just don't feel great about it. And my partner is a public health major, so she's like studying how diseases spread and herd immunity and all that kind of stuff. And maybe that's making me extra paranoid, but I don't feel like I have much VO2 max to spare, to cause lung damage. So that's where I'm at. I'm just being cautious. Hope to get back into real life racing riding next year. Anyway, see you guys here tomorrow, potentially with Murphy and Zach, going for a sprint stage win, maybe. Maybe. Look out for that. Later.